She was my best friend's mom, but one night changed everything. We knew it was wrong, but her eyes, her whispered words in the dark, and the loneliness we both tried to hide pulled me into a world I never thought I'd enter. A forbidden love, burning with desire, guilt, and secrets we could never say out loud. Think you're ready to hear the whole story? You're not. Not yet. Part 1. The Whisper That Changed Everything. I woke up to soft morning light pouring through the curtains. The house was quiet. Jake, my best friend, was still fast asleep. I tiptoed out of the guest room, looking for a glass of water, then froze. Mrs. Parker was there, alone. She stood by the living room window, her back to me, brushing her hair. Her silk robe clung softly to her body in the sunlight, outlining every curve. Her long, dark hair fell down her back like ink. I didn't make a sound. She kept brushing slowly, rhythmically, until she spoke, without turning around. "You're up early." Her voice was gentle, almost a whisper. I swallowed hard, taking a hesitant step closer. "I guess I'm not used to a new bed yet." She turned her head slightly, flashing a faint smile. Her eyes met mine and lingered just a little too long. "You didn't sleep well, but you still look pretty awake." She walked past me, the silk brushing her legs. A soft breeze floated in through the window and lifted the hem of her robe just enough for me to catch a glimpse of bare skin beneath. I looked away, but my pulse wouldn't slow down. Jake was a gamer, which meant he was in his room most of the day, glued to his screen. I usually wandered around, scrolling through my phone, flipping through books. Mrs. Parker often stayed in the kitchen or living room. Even at home, she always dressed carefully, soft blouses, flowy skirts, and just enough skin showing to stir something in me. When she bent over to open a drawer, the small of her back peeked out. Subtle, teasing. One afternoon, I was lying on the couch. She came in with a plate of fruit. "Lying like that'll hurt your back. Want me to rub it for you?" I sat up quickly, laughing nervously. "No thanks, Mrs. Parker. I'm not that old yet." She chuckled, but didn't look away. Her gaze lingered for just a second too long. That second left a mark I couldn't ignore. It rained hard that evening. Thunder rolled through the sky, and then the power went out. I fumbled in the dark, heading toward the kitchen, and ran straight into her. "Mrs. Parker." I instinctively grabbed her shoulders, steadying her. She was warm, soft. The robe she wore was thin and light, and her body pressed against mine for a few seconds too long. "Ethan, is that you?" "Why, yeah. Sorry. I didn't see." I tried to step back, but her hand touched mine. Lightly, deliberately. "Don't move yet. Let your eyes adjust." Her breath was close to my ear. Her scent, clean skin, warm silk, and something floral, wrapped around me like a fog. We stood like that, a full minute, maybe two. Her heartbeat wasn't steady. Neither was mine. Then she gently pulled away. "Careful. You bump into people way too easily." She disappeared into the hallway. But I didn't move for a long time, and the heat of her skin stayed with me. That night, I woke up thirsty. As I passed the bathroom, I heard the shower running. The door was cracked open. A soft, golden light spilled out. I didn't mean to look, but the gap was wide enough. I saw her bathed in steam. Her hair clung to her shoulders, her hands slowly sliding down her neck. Water trickled down the curve of her back. Couldn't breathe. She didn't seem to notice at first, but then she tilted her head and looked straight at the door. At me. I stepped back instantly, heart racing. Sweat beaded on my forehead despite the cool air. That night I dreamed of her. Only this time it wasn't foggy or innocent. She was in front of me, completely bare. She took my hand and placed it gently on her chest, whispering, "If you're going to watch, then don't be afraid to touch." I woke up, breathless, and I couldn't deny it anymore. I was in too deep. Saturday night, Jake went out with his friends. I stayed home. I wasn't in the mood for bars. Mrs. Parker walked into the living room, holding 2 glasses of red wine. Jake doesn't know the good stuff. Try this, it's from France. She sat next to me on the couch. Close. Too close. The soft lamp behind her made the wine glow like blood in the glass. I took it from her, unsure if I should. Do you usually drink alone on Saturday nights? She smiled. Only when there's no one worth drinking with. She sipped. Her lipstick left a mark on the rim. Her eyes, they didn't leave mine. She told stories about her 20s. Her voice low, slow, almost hypnotic. And now and then her hand brushed my knee. Maybe by accident. Maybe not. Then she stood up. Let me grab a shawl. It's getting chilly. But as she walked away, her robe slipped slightly off her shoulder. She didn't fix it. When she came back, she smelled different. Warmer. Spicier. She sat down closer this time. Our knees touched. Ethan. Her voice barely a whisper. You ever think a woman could feel so lonely she forgets her age? My throat dried up. I don't. Shoo. She placed a finger on my lips. Her gaze didn't waver. Don't call me Jake's mom right now. My brain stopped. She leaned in close. Her lips were near my ear. And she whispered, if you keep looking at me like that, I won't be responsible for what happens next. I froze. Couldn't move. Couldn't speak. She stood, smiled softly, and said, good night, Ethan. Then she walked off into the shadows, leaving behind the scent of wine, skin, and something forbidden. Couldn't sleep that night. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to every sound through the thin walls. The creak of the floor, the shifting of sheets, the softest sigh. I didn't touch her. Not yet. But I knew that whisper would echo in my head forever. And from that night on, we were never just friends. She was never just his mom. And I was never just a guest in her house. Part 2. The night she didn't say no. The next morning was quiet. Too quiet. Jake hadn't come back. His text had been vague. Staying over at Mike's. I wandered around the house. The air still carried a trace of last night. Red wine, candle wax, warm perfume. Her perfume. Mrs. Parker's bedroom door was ajar. I stopped. Everything in me screamed to turn back. But I didn't. I raised my hand. Knocked once. No response. Then I pushed it open. Just enough to see her lying in bed. Her back facing the door. Hair fanned out across the pillow like a dark halo. She wasn't asleep. Ethan, she said without turning. You've been standing there for 5 minutes. She turned her head slightly, her cheek on the pillow, one bare shoulder exposed beneath the sheets. Close the door. I did. Come in, she whispered. You're already here. I stepped inside, heartbeat in my ears. I just wanted to. You didn't come to talk. She rolled over. The sheets slid low over her body, her neckline bare, one leg exposed to the thigh. Her eyes met mine. Steady, unreadable, unafraid. So stop pretending. I was across the room before I realized it. Her hand reached up, found mine, guided me down. And then, nothing else existed. Her skin was warm, softer than I imagined. My fingers trembled, tracing the line from her collarbone down her side. She arched slightly, breathing in sharply. Are you afraid? She whispered. Yes. Good. So am I. Our mouths met halfway, a slow collision of hesitation and hunger. She tasted of wine and something older, something forbidden. Every breath, every shift of her body against mine, was a revelation. I memorized her curves, her size, the way her nails curled into my shoulder. Tell me you want this, I breathed. I want it more than I should. She wrapped her leg around my waist, pulled me closer, and for the first time I stopped thinking. I let go. We lay tangled in silence. My head rested against her shoulder. Her fingers traced lazy circles on my chest. What happens now? I asked quietly. Now we pretend it didn't happen. Can you? No, she said. But I've spent years pretending things. She turned to face me fully. Her eyes glistened, but she didn't cry. This isn't just about desire, Ethan. It's about loneliness. Years of it. You don't have to explain. I want to. She told me things I never expected. About her ex-husband, about raising Jake alone, about nights spent lying awake wondering if she was still a woman, not just a mother. Then you came in with those stupid college hoodies and that nervous smile. And ruined everything? No, she said, touching my face. Reminded me I'm still alive. The front door slammed. We both jumped. Shit, she whispered. Jake's home. I scrambled off the bed, grabbing my clothes. Closet, she hissed. I ducked inside just as Jake called out, Mom! In here, honey. Her voice was calm, too calm. Through the slats of the closet door, I watched her pull on her robe, fluff the pillows. Hey, Jake said, stepping into the room. You look tired. Didn't sleep much. You have fun. Yeah. Mike's place was chill. I held my breath. My heart beat so loudly I was sure he could hear. I'm gonna crash, he said. Okay, baby. Night. He left. Silence. Then the closet door opened. She looked down at me, lips curved in a sad smile. That was close. Too close. Maybe we shouldn't do this again. Do you mean that? She didn't answer. Instead, she leaned in and kissed me again. Harder. The next few weeks blurred. Jake never suspected. Mrs. Parker and I became experts in pretending. Smiles at dinner. Quick touches when no one was looking. And at night, when the house was quiet, she would slip into my room, or I would slip into hers. We explored each other slowly, deeply, like we were both starved. I learned what made her moan. She learned how to unravel me with just a look. Sometimes we didn't even speak. Just silence and heat and mouths and need. But it couldn't last. We both knew it. The secret got heavier each day. And Jake was no fool. I was in her room. We were tangled together, skin to skin, when the knock came. Mom! Jake's voice. Right outside. We froze. Just a minute, she called. I scrambled. Clothes. Window. Breath. She covered herself, barely composed. Come in, she said. Jake entered, looked around. Weird. Thought I heard someone. She smiled. Just me. Talking to myself. You okay? Just tired, baby. He hugged her. I watched from outside, my heart cracking. This is wrong. This has to stop. But that night, I was in her bed again. And we both pretended it was the last time. Part 3, the first lie. Jake sat across from me at the kitchen table, drinking orange juice straight from the carton like he always did. You seen Mom this morning? I almost choked on my toast. No. She was still in bed when I got up. He frowned. Weird. Her car's not in the driveway. And she left her phone. My chest tightened. She said she had errands. But she hadn't said anything about disappearing. Jake leaned closer. Also, you smell weird. Like her perfume. My heart skipped. Guess it rubbed off on the couch or something. I mumbled. He didn't respond right away. He just looked at me. Too long. Too knowing. Then he smiled. But not with his eyes. I found her in the grocery store parking lot that afternoon. She was sitting in her car, windows up, AC blasting. She looked shaken. Are you okay? I almost told him, she whispered. Jake, I almost told him everything. Don't, please, we can fix this. She turned to me, tears brimming. I can't keep lying to my son. Every time I look at you in this house, I feel like I'm betraying him. We can end it if we have to, I said, though every word tasted like ash. She stared at me. Can you really walk away from me, Ethan? I didn't answer, because I couldn't. Jake came home that night, unusually cheerful. Hey, I was thinking, we should do a little family dinner. Just the three of us. Haven't done that in a while. Sure, she said, glancing at me. eyes uncertain. Cool. Saturday night. My treat. He left the room. She turned to me immediately. He knows. He's testing us. So what do? We show up. We act normal. She nodded slowly. Normal, right? Like any of this is normal. The place was dimly lit. Jake sat between us, ordering wine, joking, laughing like he didn't have a care in the world. But I watched his eyes. He never looked away from her for too long. And when he did look at me, it wasn't friendly. It was surgical. So, Ethan, he said, sipping wine, got any secrets you want to confess tonight? I nearly dropped my fork. I don't think so. Come on. Everyone has secrets. Right, Mom? Her hand trembled slightly as she lifted her glass. Jake, don't. Don't what? Ask why my best friend smells like your lotion? Or why your laundry suddenly has men's boxers in it that aren't mine? She froze. I stared at my plate, heat crawling up my neck. You went through her laundry? I asked. I live here, he said coolly. Nothing stays hidden forever. He stood. You two enjoy the rest of the night. I'm gonna crash at Mike's. For real this time. He left the table. She looked like she was about to faint. Ethan, what did we do? I had no answer, because everything we feared was already happening. Jake didn't come home the next day. Then that night I got the text. Meet me. No, Mom. Just you. Tomorrow. 6 p.m. Behind the school. I went. He was waiting, hands in pockets, expression unreadable. I want to hear it from you. Not from her. Not through guesses. Just you. Jake. Are you sleeping with my mother? The air between us pulsed. Yes. He exhaled like I'd punched him. Jesus. I knew it. I just didn't want it to be true. I didn't plan it. We didn't plan it. It just happened. Bullshit. Things like that don't just happen. You made choices. She made choices. We care about each other. It's not just some fling. He laughed coldly. You think that makes it better? Silence. Here's the deal, Ethan. You end it. Today. Or I'll tell everyone. My dad. My friends. Hers. You think they'll let this slide? Jake. You think you're still welcome in my life after this? After you did this to me? I looked at him. Really looked. And I saw it. The betrayal. The grief. The love we had as friends. Now shattered. I'll end it. Good. Then we never talk about this again. He turned and walked away. I stood there, feeling like I just buried something. Something I couldn't get back. I told her the next day. We stood in the kitchen, the same kitchen where this whole mess had started. He gave me a choice. I had to pick. And you chose him. I chose not to ruin his life. She didn't cry. She just walked over, touched my face. Come to my room. One last time. I hesitated. Please. So I did. And we didn't rush. We made love like people who knew it would be the end. Slow. Deliberate. Memorizing every detail. Every gasp. Every kiss. Until there was nothing left but the weight of goodbye. She held me after. Pressed her lips to my forehead. Promise me something. Anything. Don't forget me. I couldn't. Even if I tried. Part 4. The quiet that followed. A week passed. The house was quiet. Jake stayed in his room. Mrs. Parker, no Lena, barely spoke unless she had to. I moved around like a shadow. A guest in a home where I had once been everything. The mornings were the hardest. We sat across from each other at the kitchen table, pretending to eat, pretending we weren't thinking about the nights we used to steal. How's your project coming? She asked one day, voice distant. Fine. Good. That was all. And yet her eyes held 1,000 unsaid things. Every time our hands brushed, every time I passed her in the hallway, it felt like a memory begging not to be forgotten. I started spending time outside more, studying, wandering, trying to remember how to be normal. That's when I met her. Grace. She was funny, sharp, and didn't ask too many questions. We started talking over coffee, then walks, then dinner. And yet, every time she laughed, I'd remember Lena's softer smile. Every time she touched my hand, I'd remember the way Lena pulled me into her warmth like I belonged. Grace was real, available, the right choice, but I was haunted by a wrong one that had felt so right. I found Lena sitting in the backyard one evening, on the garden bench, the same bench where it all began. "Jake's going to stay with his father for a while," she said. "He needs space. And you? I need clarity." We sat in silence. "Do you think we were a mistake?" I asked finally. "I think we were a question neither of us was brave enough to answer." "Do you miss it?" She turned to me. Her hand found mine just briefly. "I miss you. But some things don't survive in the daylight." I packed my things a few days later. Lena helped. Quiet, careful, like touching old photographs. At the door, we stood. "Will I see you again?" I asked. "Maybe. In another life. Or at a grocery store. Or when the wind smells like wine and regret. That's cruel. That's life." We kissed once more. Not with passion. With remembrance. And I walked away. Time passed. Jake and I stopped talking. Grace eventually became something more. The guilt faded, mostly. But sometimes, late at night, I'd smell a trace of perfume in a crowd and freeze. Or I'd dream of her hands. Her voice. That first night she said, "You're already here." Some stories don't end with a period. They fade. They echo. And some loves? They never leave. Even when they should. Red Heart, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts. Every time you connect with a story, it gives us the drive to keep creating more. Backhand index pointing right, mature love stories. Where love knows no age, no rules, and no boundaries. Only truth. Only emotion.